Hello, my name is Dan Johnson and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing another big finished product, and today it is the 6th Doctor box set entitled Trials of a Time Lord. They are very happy with that title. This is the second set celebrating the 40th anniversary of the 6th Doctor. We had the Quinn Dilemma earlier in the year, which I think was absolutely splendid. It had such creativity and the story behind it was really interesting. There was even some great character moments, and today we have another set which kind of bookends, as it's described in the behind the scenes, the celebrations. Before I start, I'd like to say that I didn't know a thing about this story when I started, so if you're planning to listen to this tomorrow or later today, I would suggest listening to at least the first part before you come back to my review. I'm not going to be spoiling anything because there are some surprises within this story. I'm only going to be talking about the stuff that's in the description of the box set, but as I didn't read that, I was getting a lot of benefit from that first episode and the first cliffhanger. So if you want to skip the next minute, please do. But within this story, the 6th Doctor is unwillingly put into a game system, hence the whole Trials of a Time Lord. It's a game show. There's a lot of similarities to Vengeance on Varos in the sense that they cut to characters that are supposedly commenting on the shows in the same way that you would do if you're watching I'm a Celebrity or Love Island or something like that, and you're doing it in your living room. And so this 6-part story has the Doctor battling through various set pieces and characters and surprises and whatever the controllers choose to throw at them. As I mentioned before, when I went to listen to this story, I didn't know what was going to happen. I hadn't read the description. So when it came to the first part, I was really surprised. And I thought, this is a rarity. So when I came to it and I was surprised by episode 1, and I thought, oh, this is the first time in a long time that I've had a story where I don't know where they could possibly take it now. And it's very exciting to see the sandbox that these characters are in, and the writers are kind of throwing them all over the place. And that sandbox effect is really fun. Although the sandbox effect is essentially like smashing your toys together when you're a kid or 22-year-old. And as you're smashing your toys together, the character moments and stuff like that do feel a bit lacking. So I would not say that this story is full of character like a lot of 6th Doctor box sets are. I mean, the Purity saga that there was before this was absolutely brilliant and full of character and moral ambiguity and stuff like that, and I loved it. And so with this set being a little bit more of a throwing characters around story, I wasn't particularly impressed with that element. I mean, there's a lot here, and you're never going to be bored. You're going to be surprised, and the Daleks and Davros and all of that sort of stuff is so fun to listen to. But in terms of character moments, it's really weak. There's one in episode 6, right at the end, that feels like it's been tacked on when the Doctor is talking to Perry and apologising. I just feel like with the set we've had before, particularly, the narrative there was so well structured and the character moments felt earned. And with this, we're so busy running after Daleks and running after Cybermen and Davros and all sorts that we're not really taking a moment to stop and to allow our characters to talk or set anything up with our characters beyond sort of a paper level because we're so busy with everything else. You could argue that it's the changing of writers where each writer didn't really want to mess up or do anything conceptually that will make it harder for the other writers. So they're sort of playing it safe in that respect. But the fact that 3 writers came together and wrote this together, but wrote their episodes separately, the fact that it all still makes sense is pretty impressive. Although I have to say, listening to it a second time today, having all of the surprises and etc. gone, you can kind of feel the cracks in the story because you're no longer waiting and wondering what's going to happen next. When you step back and you look at it as a whole, I think that the cracks begin to show in the narrative. I did really enjoy this story. I like to state that quite plainly because I feel like I've been quite harsh on it. But I have really enjoyed listening to this, and it's definitely worth picking up this box set if you're a fan of the 6th Doctor. Although, will this be going down as a classic 6th Doctor story? No. It's a well-told story that sustains 6 parts and gives you plenty of surprises throughout, although I do feel like some of the character work is not always there. They keep doing 6-part stories like this. I've listened to a couple of 6-part stories now with The Last Day, and I think Intelligence for War has probably been the only one that I think had been successful in executing the 6-parter. I feel like stories are being 6 parts because that's sort of a mandate by the company less than anything else. All the other box sets have been absolutely amazing. The Quinn Dilemma is definitely a triumph of a 40th anniversary special, and this set kind of adds a very tiny downer onto it, a very, very tiny one, just for the character work. But that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully, you did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure you give it a like, subscribe if you're new, and I shall see you soon. Goodbye.